It's Monday, December 10th, 2012, and this is news. President Obama and House Speaker John Boehner met privately at the White House Sunday in an effort to avert the fiscal cliff. The talks reportedly started on common ground, with Obama and Boehner agreeing that the budget would not be balanced on the backs of America's hard-working cigarette smokers. As the leader of the free world conferred in secret with the leader of the People's House, C-SPAN treated cable viewers to a rerun marathon featuring the proceedings of the president's Government Accountability and Transparency Board. Meanwhile, the president continues to insist he'll veto any plan that does not include a tax hike on Americans who earn more than $200,000 per year. Insiders say Boehner counteroffered with a lower tax hike in exchange for placing the wealthy in timeout. Despite the barrage of news about the negotiations, most Americans still don't even know what the term fiscal cliff means. That ignorance is highest among the young, who will pay for the nation's massive debt for the rest of their lives. Congress may address that today when it considers labeling fiscal cliff news with M for mature or E for explicit, so that more young Americans will tune in. A Chinese firm entered the winning bid for a bankrupt U.S. car battery maker, which had received $250 million in federal grants. The estimated selling price is also $250 million for A123, which makes large lithium-ion batteries for the electric cars that are taking America by calm. Meanwhile, another government-backed enterprise, AIG, announced it will sell its aircraft leasing business to a Chinese company for $4.2 billion, the biggest Chinese acquisition of a U.S. firm to date. The White House praised the deal because it brings more diversity to an industry where, frankly, totalitarian communist regimes have been underrepresented. Food stamp usage hit a new all-time high of 47.7 million people in September, up more than 607,000 compared with August. Department of Agriculture said 1 out of every 6.5 Americans got federal government food assistance, compared with 1 out of 50 in the 1970s. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said the fact that Americans have not lost their will to eat demonstrates that they believe President Obama can turn things around. Government spending on the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program has doubled in the past 4 years. President Obama said he hopes that those numbers keep growing because no one wants to go back to the bad old days of privately purchased food that got us into this mess in the first place. And finally today, Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi said he'll repeal his order, placing himself above the nation's high court, but not in time to stop a national referendum on a new constitution slated for later this week. A new government poll shows a majority of Egyptians support the Muslim Brotherhood penned constitution, including thousands of jailed dissidents and more than 100% of Egyptian women. With PJ Newsbreak, I'm Scott Ott. Visit PJTV.com 3 times today for your antidote to the obsolete media.